More in traffic every 10 minutes on the fours. From the Dubin Law Group Traffic Center, here's Max Tucker.
In Seattle on Stewart Street and 3rd Avenue, SPD is responding to an incident with the northbound and westbound right lanes blocked. Be sure to use caution and watch for directed traffic. And in University Place on westbound Highway 16, Tacoma Narrows Bridge, a collision at the midspan now has the left 3 lanes blocked. The heavy collision backed up to Bridgeport Way. Your next update at 10:14.
Shannon O'Donnell with your Como forecast.
Well, hi, everybody. It's Friday night. We've had some tough weather luck here on Friday the 13th with the heat and the smoke going together as they're starting to do every month of August, it seems. We will start to clear things out of around the corner here pretty quickly by Saturday. Nice onshore flow, our ocean AC coming in from the Pacific to push the heat and the smoke out of our way. We'll slowly brighten through the afternoon with highs in the 80s to near 90. Further cooling and much cleaner air by Sunday with highs in the 70s and the 80s. In the Como Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Shannon O'Donnell.
Right now, it's 79 degrees in Seattle.
Stay connected, stay informed. The news you need now on Como News 1000, FM 97.7.
The Como News Time, 10:05. Art Sanders' top local stories from the Como 24/7 News Center. State Schools Chief says if the governor mandates COVID vaccines for all Washington school employees, there will be consequences for any district that defies the order. Como's Ryan Harris has reactions.
Those consequences would be straightforward. Districts that choose not to follow a legal vaccine requirement, should the governor issue one, would have their state funding reduced. School Superintendent Chris Rakedahl was also asked if he'd support a vaccine mandate for students, and he says it would have to come before the State Board of Health.
If they make a determination to consider that, at this point, I will absolutely support that for students as a requirement to enroll in our schools as we do with other vaccines.
Teachers Union, the Washington Education Association, says it supports all the protective measures and encourages COVID vaccinations, but it didn't say how it would respond to any order. Teamsters Local 174 represents school bus drivers for First Student, which spokesperson Jamie Fleming says is a contractor that might not be subject to the order. Fleming says it would trigger mandatory bargaining and that there will be drivers willing to lose their jobs to object.
It's going to be a fact of life that a mandate like this will exacerbate the labor shortage.
The governor's office says it has no announcements planned. Ryan Harris, Como News.
Another big group could soon be eligible for COVID vaccines as clinical trials for kids progress. Dr. Ali Makdad with UW Medicine says those trials often take longer because it's harder to recruit children.
5 to 11 is very close to application for emergency authorization. So we should see some of these data coming up soon. And what I hear now, it's very safe that it is possible that we could get these vaccines approved by the end of this year. As far as for children under the age of 5, it will take a little bit longer.
In the meantime, Makdad says he supports the call for all school employees to be vaccinated, which he says would go a long way to help keep schools open for much-needed in-person learning. Up to 1,500 National Guard troops will be deployed in hospitals around the state of Oregon, supporting healthcare workers as the COVID-19 surges amid the rapid spread of the Delta variant. Number of COVID cases continues to increase in Washington, and Como's Charlie Harger tells us it's causing issues for hospitals across the state.
The State Department of Health says at least one of every 172 people in the state has an active COVID infection. Another way of looking at it is hospitalizations. 2 weeks ago, 476 people across the state were hospitalized with COVID. Now it's up to 914. And this is causing some hospitals to turn away ambulances and divert them elsewhere. A spokesperson tells Como that St. Peter Hospital in Olympia has struggled with this. As recently as Thursday, most ambulances were diverted elsewhere for a while. Only those with the most life-threatening emergencies like strokes or heart attacks were able to be brought in. The governor's office tells Como they continue to look at a variety of options to reduce the spread of COVID. Charlie Harger, Como News.
The new burn ban's in effect in King County. The Stage 2 burn ban, which takes effect immediately amid our continuing heat wave, prohibits outdoor recreational fires. Over the past few years, Seattle has seen increasing amounts of smoke in the summer. One local meteorologist tells us we're likely to have frequent smoke seasons in the future. Joe Boomgard-Zagrodnik runs the local weather website, theconvergencezone.com.
Laundry list of factors that are causing the smoke almost every year now, and it's definitely something that we're going to continue to see in the future.
He blames climate change and poor forest management as one of the main causes. Only 1 in 10 kids with ADHD will truly outgrow it, according to a new study by the University of Washington. More from KOMO's Jeff Pogula.
Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder has long been thought to be mostly a childhood condition. But after a 16-year study, Dr. Margaret Sibley says that is not the case.
There was about 10% of the sample that fully recovered from their ADHD long term and didn't appear to have the disorder anymore. Previously, people thought that was 50%, so this is a different estimate.
Audio provided by UW Medicine. However, Selby says the symptoms often diminish or fluctuate as patients get older. Jeff Pogula, KOMO News.
KOMO News time 10:10, and from the Beacon Plumbing Sports Desk at T-Mobile Park right now. It's the bottom of the ninth, and it's still tied between the Mariners and Toronto Blue Jays, 2-2. KOMO's Bill Schwartz has good and not so good news for a local Little League baseball team.
The 12-year-old East Lake All-Stars from Sammamish beat Montana 10-4, earning a trip to the Little League World Series in Pennsylvania. They and all the other teams, though, will not have many people watching in person. With the rise in COVID-19 cases and the highly contagious Delta variant, Little League made the tough call to close the complex to the general public. Seattle Sounders will go to the Rose City for a Sunday night soccer match with rival Timbers. Coach Brian Schmetzer expecting Portland to bring everything they have as usual.
Blanco's coming back. Does Valeri play? They've played a little differently, 4-2-3-1 versus 4-4-1-1 or 4-4-2, whatever. So it makes him a little bit of a dangerous opponent.
The match is pushed to 7 p.m. because of excessive heat. Seahawks tight end Colby Parkinson out indefinitely with a broken foot. Seattle kicks off the preseason tomorrow night at Las Vegas. Coming off last night's WNBA Commissioner's Cup victory against Connecticut, the Seattle Storm now launch a 14-day road trip beginning Sunday against the Chicago Sky. Sports at 10 and 40 after the hour. Bill Schwartz, KOMO News.